Hey guys, this is Eric Metamar. I want to welcome you to the Ass Kicking and Cash Getting Workshop. You know what I just realized? Just a second. Looking down at my title page here that you're looking at, it did say Cash Getting, but my computer somehow auto-corrected it for me because I tried like 6 times to get it to take it, and I thought it took it, and it didn't. So now we have the Ass Kicking and Cash Getting Workshop. I'm super excited to be here tonight to share some really cool insights into how you can make a ton of money online. And what I've tried to do throughout this webinar that we're going to be doing is I've tried to make it easy for you to understand so you can see where the potential lies with online marketing and why I'm so excited to bring it to you. Now, I'm going to try to keep it brief, but for those of you who don't know me already, my name is Eric Metamar, and I started out in internet marketing. Never really planned on getting into it. Never in my life thought that I would do anything like this, or especially make my own internet marketing product. That's whoa out there for me. About I don't know. It's been nearly a decade now. I was not doing so hot financially. Just got married. I started real estate wholesaling. I'm going to spare you the sob story, but in brief, I started real estate wholesaling because it was the only way that I knew how to make a lot of money in real estate without having any resources at my disposal. Because what I realized was most of the ways in real estate, you needed either cash, and I needed invested because I needed cash, not because I had it. You needed credit. I didn't have credit because I didn't have the cash to pay my bills. So I was kind of stuck. And luckily, I had found wholesaling. And I think it was midway through my second year in the business. I'd already made well in excess of $100,000 in the business. I was driving my Corvette, which I paid off with wholesaling money. Paid for it with cash. Kind of a cool little story behind that, but I'll spare you that. I'm trying to keep it brief. But anyway, I pulled my car off to the side of the road one day and decided I was going to make my own product because I thought all the other wholesaling products either A, were too expensive, and even the expensive ones sucked, and B, they were just, I mean, they either sucked or they were too expensive, but usually it was a combination of the both. So I thought, why not just try to like do what Walmart did and come in and offer a real low price product that's super high quality. And it went over like gangbusters, but the way that it started was I pulled my car over to the side of the road, talked into my mic, called a recordable 1-800 number, and the first day that I remember, I don't know if you've watched the other video, and I don't want to go into it if you've heard it all already. I'm going to try to give you a real shortened version because I don't want to bore you with a story you've already heard, but basically, I pulled my car off to the side of the road and talked to myself for 45 minutes about the stuff I knew about wholesaling. So basically, I was like, so, Eric, I mean, usually when people want to know this is what they would say, and blah, blah, blah. And I went on for 45 minutes, and it was, the information was gold because I know my stuff so well because it's all I do. But the presentation was lackluster. The website that I got it on was a free Google page because I didn't even know how to get a website. I didn't know how to host a website. I didn't have a domain name. I didn't even have a freaking PayPal account. I mean, my old website basically looked like, I wish I could find it because it'd be brilliant. Because it was basically like I went to some other websites, saw that you used a lot of bold and a lot of highlighting and a lot of like, look at this shit. And it would give you a headache to look at it now. But I put that product out there. And I don't know how much you know about file storage, etc. online, but I had a 45-minute call, and I swear to you, it was over 500 megabytes big. Now, a 45-minute call right now, I can fit on maybe 20 megabytes. This was 500, so it was half of a gigabyte to do one call. That's like a movie. That's a video, and I just had one MP3. And I wrote like a little 27-page book to go with it. And it was just basically a culmination of the notes I had taken while learning wholesaling. But then what I did is basically refined everything. Because I don't think that you should come to market ever if you don't have anything new to offer, new perspective, new way of doing things. I mean, it's if you're going to try to come out with the same BS that everybody else is doing, save your breath because it's not worth it. And that's one of the things that you're going to find that really sets how much money you're going to make apart from the rest of the people is the quality and the value that you bring to other people's lives, and that's what's so cool about this business. But anyway, long story short, I made that product, and I mean, at the time when I did this, I was in the middle of some big deals. I mean, I was having $40,000, $50,000 months of profit. And I'll tell you what, my first internet product that I made, when that thing made 2 sales in a day or something, I mean, I was doing backflips. I was elated, way far more than I was when I would come home. I mean, I've $60,000. I came home one day from the title company with $65,000 in checks, all profit that I could keep, and from wholesaling, not internet marketing. And I was more happy whenever my product sold. There was just something so cool about knowing that someone trusted me enough to buy my stuff, and then they liked my ideas. I was just like, I was hooked. And there's something, I mean, make it 65, or I think my best month ever was around $85,000 I made in a month. And that was really cool, but compared, I still had to do a little bit for it. I mean, I maybe worked 15 hours or so total for it all. I mean, a lot of you listeners are going to be like, well, yeah, wow, dipshit, I would love to make that in a year, let alone a month. But in terms of what I was used to at the time, there's still something to it. I had to work. And there's really something cool about working once and then getting paid forever for your ideas, because it was like I was sleeping and I woke up and people sent me money. And that was really cool to me. It was like, wow, this is like the real dream. Because when I think about a business, I don't think about going to work. No one wants to, I call it the turd in a box. It's like most business owners, this is what they get. They like, oh, I want to live the dream. I want to get the business. They get the business, and it's like a gift wrapped turd to me, because you end up working more hours than you've ever worked. You end up working for less money than you've ever worked for, and then you not only wind up having to manage yourself but all your people, and normally you drag your spouse into it, and it is just hell on earth. It's worse than a turd in a box, and this isn't like that. That's why I think it's so cool, because with internet marketing, it's like you don't have any of the usual business expenses. You don't need a building. You don't have a lease. You don't have everything that I sell is almost exclusively digital. So people download them, and it only makes sense to do it that way. I mean, even if I offered videos like I do at my seminars when I do real estate boot camps, sure, I get a couple grand for the videos, but in my mind, it would make far more sense for the people to pick it up and get it online, because that's where you spend most of your time, is at your computer. If you're at work, you can take MP3s with you. You can watch the videos on your iPhone or iPad, whatever that you've got. I mean, basically, the best way I've ever heard it put from me is you could drop me off at a McDonald's anywhere in America, because every McDonald's now has wireless for free, and in a month I would come out with between $5,000 and $10,000, and I didn't need anything but my laptop and me. And what I'm going to do in this seminar is show you how you can do the same thing and why it'll work. So with that said, that's a shortened introduction compared to what I'd like to do. I'm going to move on to the next slide. All right. Before I get into the meat of the presentation, I want to tell you why it's important that you stick around. I'm not here to hype and pitch you anything. This is going to be a webinar where you're going to want to get out the pen and paper and actually take some notes, because the stuff I'm going to share with you is the key to the castle in terms of how to make money online. And if I'm being blunt, I've never heard anybody put it so, wow, that makes sense, as me. Because a lot of times, even I, after being in the business a few years, I would listen to people talk, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And what I've tried to do is take it to a level where anybody can understand it and see how it works, so that the more you can do that, the faster you're going to get to getting money. And that's basically what it's all about. All right, so the other cool thing is, if you stick around till the end, at the end of the seminar, whether or not you get anything from me, buy what I have to tell you about it you'll know when I want to tell you some stuff because it's gonna be at the very end. So if you want to leave before then, feel free. But I'm gonna give you guys all a free mind map. What's amazing about this mind map, and I hate sounding hypey, but I mean it is freaking amazing. It's like if you were to line up all the pages, it's probably 6 pages long if you printed it, of internet marketing and how to do it. And what I did is I won an iPad the other week on doing a product launch from somebody. I sat in my bathtub one night right after I'd gotten it and took a 3-hour bath and just laid out everything that I knew about internet marketing. Now, if you don't understand internet marketing, a lot of it will be a little bit code to you, but I posted it in one of the largest forums for online marketing there was. And this is where the super advanced people hang out, and they're like, holy crap, dude, like that's all in your head? And I posted it where all of the real estate gurus hang out, and I got a lot of emails from guys in our business going like, holy smokes, dude, you got all that floating around in your head? So I think it'll be a super cool tool, and it's definitely worth hanging around for. I'm going to try to limit this. I don't want to go do one of those 3-hour jam sessions like I've become famous for. What we're going to try to do is just get down to the nitty-gritty and find the stuff that makes you money. And now we're basically, and I've already been over this, why internet marketing and online marketing isn't just something that I want you to say, you know, I really should do that. This is a freaking must. It's not something that like there's. What I like about it and the evolution of why I decided to bring you this product in the first place was I would talk, you know, on an average week I talk to maybe 10 or 15 students, and a good portion of them, when they're having trouble, it's to do with confidence, and there's always there's a few things that are in the way of them getting the money. And none of them are actually real world things. They're interpersonal things that they need to handle on their own that are keeping them from getting money. Either they have bad beliefs, they have lack of confidence, they got no charisma. And one of the problems that I've identified is a lot of times when you're an opportunity seeker, someone who's looking for ways to make money in a easier, more efficient way, a lot of times when you're not finding them, you run out of money. I mean, to be honest. And along with running out of money and you lose a little bit of confidence, because every time you don't succeed, it takes a little bit of your confidence. But the problem is you carry that lower confidence with you to the next activity you do. So when you failed, like you try something, it fails, you've proved to yourself you're a failure, the next time you're not going to try as hard, and it starts this downward spiral of just shittydom. That's my own word, by the way. I'm going to TM that. And what happens is you're like, so the next time you go to do something, you're like, oh man, I tried last time. I'm going to give this a try, but it probably won't work. And then it doesn't work, and then it reinforces it. Next thing you know, man, you're down in the dumps. You know that you've got a lot of potential. You know you can do shit, but you just don't have the self-esteem that it takes to, if you have to A, talk to other people, B, do anything public speaking wise, or C, if there's anywhere where people can just see that you're not confident in what you're saying. Well, that's what's so cool about online is you don't have that. It's like the ultimate playing field leveler, because I know like people have always told me from day one, Eric, you're a salesman, Eric, you're a salesman. But I know a lot of people who weren't salesmen and they wanted to make salesmen money. And they couldn't because they're quiet. I have a brother like that. He's just real quiet. And he can't make salesman money, or they're not too sure of themselves. They don't like people. Some people, as I've gotten older, there's a lot of people I just don't like. I guess it's not I don't like them. I just have better things to do than talk to them. And with internet marketing, none of that is a problem, because it's just you and your words versus the world, and that's it. It's like the ultimate. I mean, it's the ultimate. You don't need anything. You could drop me off. When I say you could drop me off at a McDonald's and I'll come back with $5 to $10 grand, I won't come back with it because I'd have to stop by my bank and grab it because that's where my payment processor would deposit it. But I can say that with 100% confidence because there's nothing I need outside of that McDonald's that I can't make happen online. And that's what I put into the system is I want everything to be included. So you're there and there's no questions, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's like you just sit there and you tweak things and you twist them. And one of the things that you're going to find online is when you find something that works, if it works on a small scale, a micro scale, then you can take it up big to a macro scale, and that's when you can get up there with these guys doing. I mean, one guy did a launch; he made 25 million in a week. A lot of these big real estate launches that you're seeing when you get bombarded with freaking emails, those guys will do $2, $3, $4, $5 million in a week or two, all from online marketing and doing the stuff here. But when you consider if you actually make a really good product, it's basically you've got to make a good product, and you got to get it in front of the right people with the right message, and that's it. And we're going to get into that heavier later on. But what I'm going to show you how to do here is do that all without having a product. And how we're going to do that is affiliate marketing. Now, don't get all freaked out and be like, oh, shit, affiliate marketing. I don't know anything about that. It's not multi-level marketing. It's not anything that's sketchy or bad. Basically, I'm going to explain to you affiliate marketing super fast here. Affiliate marketing is basically like you're going to get a code from whoever's product you're selling. If you're selling one of my products, I give you a special link. Now, when a person visits that link, it basically leaves what's called a cookie in their computer. But in plain speak, a cookie is basically like a little business card that says, hey, Eric sent me here, or hey, Tom sent me here. And if all I need is that cookie from them, from you saying, hey, you sent me so-and-so, then I pay you 50 to 75% of whatever the product is. And you didn't have to make the product. That's what's so amazing about it, is that if you go to ClickBank, which I'm going to have you do later on, I was there the other day when I was putting together this product, and there was 1.7 billion. That's $1 billion in paid out fees from people who've sold their products on ClickBank. So you know this isn't something that's just like, oh, it's going to go away, pie in the sky idea. They paid out 1.7 billion, and that's just one company. But that's what affiliate marketing is. It's basically you get a link from anybody, and they do everything else. All you do is send the person. And the reason that it works so well is I want you to think about this. Imagine that you had a business card that said anybody who visits Home Depot with this card and gives it to the cashier, you're going to get paid 50% of whatever they do, of whatever they buy. Now that would be super cool, right? I mean, if you had this little business card and it was like, hey, you get 50% of whatever anybody buys whenever you hand this card out, you're going to be handing that card to like everybody and their brother. You want them to have that business card. That's basically what your cookie is. Now, this is what's cool, and this is what my wealth weapon system is about. Imagine how much money you could make if you parked out, camped out, like pulled up your lazy boy right outside the checkout lane at Home Depot, and you passed those cards to every single person who passed, right at the point of purchase. That is how this system is going to work. I'm going to park you out at Home Depot. You can sit there in your lazy boy, except for you don't even have to sit there because I'm going to show you how to do it all without doing any work. You just have to park your lazy boy at Home Depot, hand your cards, and they're going to give you 50% of whatever sells. Now, if you're anything like me, at least, you're like, wow, that's pretty cool. That's all there is to this. And over the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how it all works. And inside my system, I'm going to show you everything. But I want to, in the short amount of time that we have here today, I'm going to show you how all of the pieces fit together and how you can really make a fortune when you get this right. And I'm going to help you get it right, so that's pretty cool. All right, next slide here. This is the other cool thing about online marketing. This is what hooked me. It's like unlike other work, and this is one of the other important things that went into this for me at least. When I was looking for something cool that would work, it wasn't actually why I got it. I only got into this because I wanted to make a cool real estate course and see what would happen if I just made kick-ass shit and delivered it for a low price and it went over like gangbusters. So it's not actually why I got into it, but looking back, it's like, man, I got into the perfect business here because my business makes money all the time while I sleep. And that's what a real business is. If you read any of the business books from like Michael Gerber, a lot of the most recommended books by the Fortune 500, a business is something that functions with or without you there. And most people don't have businesses. They have bought themselves a job, and a job that's going to make them miserable. And that's not what this is about. This is about getting you money while you sleep, while you travel, while you're on vacation. And I was thinking about this when I was making this slide. I'm like, man, if I died today, my business, without my wife touching it, except for handling like customer service stuff where people needed their links sent to them, etc., my business could go on making $100,000 a year for a very long time, long after I was dead, and no one would even know it, because once it's done, it's done. It's like Ronco, man. You set it and you forget it, and it just keeps making you money. And I understand for most of you, like if you're anything like me and you hear shit like that, like, woo, set it and forget it and make money, woo, okay, yeah, go sell your Amway somewhere else or whatever. But I think you're lying. So what I did is I just put together a little slideshow right after this. The other cool thing, if you're anything like me, and I think, like, you know, us people, the people who are here, I have a feeling are like me, in that you like learning. You're a freaking, I'm a sponge at least. I love learning. I love hearing about opportunities. I love taking advantage of opportunities. And I'm a sucker for info products. I'm a sucker for all of it. And one of the problems with that is I call it chasing the next shiny thing. It's like I'll start something, and luckily I've been fortunate enough to my wholesaling business. Once I used some of the cool tactics that many of you have already gotten to see, I've made it so it's super easy to wholesale. I didn't have to do much else. And I've done the same thing with my internet business, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do here. But it keeps working without me. I can be off chasing the next shiny thing, and my internet marketing stuff is going to keep pumping cash. And take any job in America, 99.9% of jobs, the day that you stop working at them and go chase a shiny thing is the day that you don't make any money. Well, this just keeps pumping out money. And I've got the goods to back that up, and I'll show you on the next couple pages. Does this really work? Because that's what I would be asking. If I heard this, seriously, if you like, I like to think about me bumping into someone at a party, and this has happened. I'm going to tell you a real quick story here. I get distracted. I got ADD, and I'm driving, and I'm doing this while I'm driving, if you can believe that, because things have gotten a little bit more hectic than what I had anticipated this week. This is what happens. Like, all my wife's friends know that I wholesale and that I do a bunch of real estate, and they know I do a little bit of coaching, whatever. But when she tells them that I make a lot of money online now, too, they're like, oh, yeah, so, and then whenever they see it, like, so what's that thing your husband does? And she'll tell them, and I swear to God, we could see the same people 2 weeks later. So what is that thing that your husband does? Doesn't he do something online? And then we'll see him 2 weeks later. What? Now, what is that? My mom, same thing. It doesn't even register in their head because they don't think it's possible. And I know that you might be fighting that same battle, so that's why I had to bring in the reinforcements. I just brought you the images from right inside just a couple of more than a dozen shopping carts that I've got online. By shopping carts, I mean places where I get paid. This is one of mine. As you can see there, for this year I've had $5,752 in sales. Now, I mean, that's not a ton of money. That's about $500 a month I make every month. But you want to know what's cool? I built this site in under 2 hours. The site that I make all the money from, it's a product that I don't even do. I just promote it. And all the promotion that I do is free. I don't have any paid advertising out there. I don't do anything with it. It just sits out there on Google and sends me money every month, $500 a month. Now, $500 a month, you're like, oh, well, big freaking deal. Look at these guys making millions. But $500 a month, I want you to think about this. Let's say life right now is kind of not overly enjoyable because money's tight. I'm not talking like tight like you're dying. I'm talking, or not going to eat. I'm talking tight like, oh, shit, stuff just ain't cool anymore. $500 a month, that's $120 a week. Actually, $125 a week. $125 a week gets you 10 hours of a babysitter or more. It gets you dinner and a movie and a babysitter with your spouse. Well, maybe not dinner and a movie, depending on where you live. But $125 a month, when you break it down into what a difference it can make in your life, I mean, just that right there is huge. And I did this site right here, 2 hours, no promotion, no nothing. And I did some of the cool search engine tricks I'm going to teach you inside. I paid someone to do those for me, and it didn't cost me hardly anything. All in all, I got maybe $50 into this site in 2 hours of my time. It's made me $5,000. And what's gonna happen is it's just gonna keep pumping money into my bank account every single month from here on out forever. And it happens like clockwork. And I'm not joking. I mean, this is one website promoting one product. And I mean, if you're thinking in terms of like, this is another really cool thing that I've done, and I've never shared this before. One of the things I learned a while back is that you can establish an IRA for your kid, but you got to be able to have money coming in from my IRA for your kid. And it's like, well, how do I pay my kid? I've heard of people like paying their kid to be a website model and then giving them money, but that's kind of the BS way. I'll just put my son's name on an affiliate account, and every month I get checks for him. He's got his own bank account that I fill each and every month with usually $500 to $600 from it. Not even this one here. It's a whole nother account. And it's just money that comes in like clockwork. I said it and I forget it. Now, when you're thinking about retirement, most people are going to retire flat frickin' broke. Not only could you be putting this money into a retirement account, and if you put this much in a retirement account starting early enough, you're going to be sitting on a handsome amount of money. And I'm just talking like this is just piddles compared to what you make if you put any effort whatsoever into this. Because, I mean, 2 hours and $50. And I'm going to show you how to do this. 100% of it, how I did it inside my wealth weapon system. Next slide here. This is my wholesaling product. This is while I was at deer camp. One day, I crossed out the names there so that I don't want people like knowing who buys my stuff. But one day, while I was out at deer camp, $1,778. And I wasn't actually at deer camp. I was out putting up blinds all day. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't working. It was just like my little money pump. I'll tell you how it goes with my banker. I pull up to the drive-thru every day to get my money out because I hate the bank and I don't trust any of it. I'm weird like that. I'll just be like, give me everything but $200 or whatever I want to say. And they always look at me like, where are you getting this? I know they want to ask, and they've never asked because every day it's just like a little cash pump in there, and it just keeps coming and coming and coming. And I put it someplace safe, believe me. But I'm sketched out by my bank and all of that stuff, so that's a whole nother story. So here's another one of my accounts. This is a product that I made. I paid $20 to have it made. $20 freaking dollars. That's it. I put up the sales page. It took me about 2 hours to make the sales page. Paid $20 for the product. I've never promoted the product, never called a person about the product, never talked to a single person about the product. None of it. I swear on anything that I've never done anything with this product other than I put it in my link on a forum that I visit. That was it. And this is 1 day's worth of sales on that site. And I didn't do anything with it. Nothing. And I mean, you could do the same thing. And I'm going to show you how inside my wealth weapon system. But this is 1 day. And I didn't do anything. I mean, it's like free money. Here's another day. Maybe that one was just a fluke. This is a different day. There's another day. Maybe that was just a fluke. And this is just all money that just is like pouring in. I'm not working for it. I'm out doing, I don't even know what I was doing on these days, but it sure as hell wasn't working on anything to do with this product. Because this isn't in the only product I ever do a lot of work with is my wholesaling thing, because that's what I do, and I'm really passionate about helping out people who want to learn real estate wholesaling. But, I mean, this is a product that I paid $20 to have someone do. Now, if you're listening to this and you've bought my wholesaling products, rest assured, no one ever but me, and me alone, does my wholesaling products. Because if you've got them, you know that I do a lot of the talking in them, and I would really have to be a really good liar to do them because I talk a lot of shit that nobody who didn't wholesale a hell of a lot of houses knows. So just know for sure that I didn't outsource any of this. But this one I outsourced to some kid from India. Here's something that I find is super intriguing, and you may too. The kid who did this, I outsourced it. The only difference between he and I is he worked for like, I don't know, 8-10 hours for $20, and I worked for 2 on a sales page, and I will make thousands upon thousands of dollars every year from here on out for the rest of my life from this product. And he made $20 and that was it. And the only difference between that person and me was that I knew how to put the pieces of the puzzle together, because that's what it's all about. It's about knowing opportunity when it comes knocking. He doesn't know how to do this. If I did that, someone could have paid me to do this in high school, I wouldn't know how to do this. But once you know how to do it, that doesn't go away. No one can take that from me. If the U.S. market goes to shambles, things go to crap, all I got to do is do paid search or online search overseas, and I'm going to get money. I mean, it's unbelievable. You could lock me in my house for 5 years in one of those weird cellars. If you give me an internet connection, we got money from here on out forever. And I wouldn't even necessarily have to do any work now, because everything that I have is up and running and pumping cash. I feel like I get a little hype about this, but it's not like me trying to get you like, whoo, whoa, way to go, like you're at some kind of Tony Robbins convention. I just get hype about it because this is the shit, man. And if me swearing offends you, I'm sorry. But when I get hype, I swear. And I'm not going to, the one thing you'll never find me using is the Lord's name in vain, because I've got a fondness for God, but I still haven't found a spot in the Bible where they're say I can't say shit and ass and stuff like that. Anyway, so the next thing, another day of it. I mean, you could zoom in. I may even be sending you these slides. You can see every one of these is a sale, all different days. I mean, the other week, some dude randomly must have noticed my products, promoted it. 67 sales in a freaking day. And I never talked to him, didn't know who he was, and I don't even pay him anything. My payment processor does it all. And all I did is like, that's a $20 product that I made, that I paid $20 for. But every time it sells, I make a hell of a lot more than that. I make more every time it sells than the price I paid to make it once. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, what's the catch? That's what everybody's thinking. Did I need connections? No. That's one of the cool things about working with me versus a lot of these other dudes. For one, I didn't make all my money selling people how to make money online. A lot of the guys that you see, it's like a weird inbred South thing. It's like, I swear to God, one of my favorite marketers in the world, his name's Frank Kern, internet marketer, and I've got his $10,000 seminars. But I swear, on my life, his product, one of his products that was like $3,000, was basically him showing me how he got me to buy his product in over like a 20-hour video. I swear to you. It was cool shit, and it works like crazy. And I'm going to teach you the same stuff because I've already bought those products. But, I mean, one of the things that I do is I didn't come into this to be an internet marketer. The other thing is I don't pay people to do hardly anything for me except for a little bit of SEO work. Everything that you see on my websites, my slide presentations, my products, other than like the outsourced product, I do it myself just because, I don't know, I'm a control freak, I guess, to a point. But it isn't really that hard either once you know and understand how to use a system. And I don't have connections. I don't have hardly any affiliates. I don't encourage people to be my affiliates. And you'll know why if you decide to buy my wealth system. I show you inside why. Like, it's pretty easy to see why I don't want affiliates out there. But that's one of the things. You don't need connections for this at all. None. You don't need to advertise. The site I showed you that I made $5,700 on this year, didn't advertise it a lick. I didn't promote it either, by the way. If you're thinking, oh yeah, you just shot an email out to your list and you made a bunch of money, no, that's not what happened. I didn't shoot out any emails for this product. It was 100% hands-off, like free money for doing 2 hours worth of work and about $50 in SEO work, and that was it. That's why my wealth system is so cool, because you don't need any of that. And that's why internet marketing is so cool, and my wealth system is all about that. Because it doesn't matter if you don't have confidence. You don't even need an internet connection, for God's sake. I mean, you go to McDonald's. You don't need computer skills. When I started out in this business, dude, I couldn't computer my way out of a cardboard box. If you can log into Facebook, I promise you can handle everything within this system. Just yesterday I heard 1 in every 12 humans on the planet has a Facebook account. No experience. Sign me up. I don't know an internet marketer who had experience when they started, because this is a newer business. I mean, it wasn't even 10 years ago that the internet wasn't that popular. When a lot of the founding guys in this business have only been in it 10 years. So no one was an expert at this at first. We all start out as fools. I mean, basically, if you believe that you have to be an expert to get started, that would mean that anybody over like 40 who's made a ton of money in this is a fluke, because they weren't experts when they started, because the internet wasn't even around when they were hanging out. So it's not like you have to grow up with this stuff. Everybody starts out as a non-expert at this. No charisma, that's a biggie. Because that's one of the things that comes along with confidence is charisma. I mean, you put me on a phone with anybody, and I can wheel and deal with the best of them. And a lot of people don't have that. It's not an issue. It's not a problem with them. It's just they don't have that. And you don't need that online. You just have to type out words in the right order, and you get money. So that's the other cool part about it. So how can you do this too? Basically, what I'm going to teach you right now is called Hijack Attack Marketing. And this is super cool stuff. And it's also the system that you can use to make an almost endless supply of money as soon as you're ready to give it a chance. So, in order to understand how this all works and how internet marketing is going to work and how you're going to make a lot of money in internet marketing, we have to look at the consumer buying process. And don't let that's probably the biggest word you hear out of me, consumer and process. Let that sink in, because I mean that's really about all I got. What happens, this dude, when I was doing the graphic, reminded me of the Bullwinkle guy. Remember little Boris Svensson? So what I did is, what happens is, people start with a pain or a problem or a desire that they want. And then they get this idea. And at the idea stage, they're going to go to the search engine. And if you look at the statistics below, before I get any more into the little graphic there, 22.7 billion searches a month here in America, and there's 131 billion searches a month worldwide. Google, I believe, has about 80. What did I hear? About 7. I think it was about 70% of the market. Yahoo, Bing, MSN, they share the other 30. I think Yahoo's like 15, and Bing and MSN, because a couple of those combined, and they make up like the other 15, and there's like barely any left. And if you take it and break it down, worldwide, there's 29 million searches going on Google a minute. And that's what my wealth system was all about, is like making Google your little cash pump, and so that you'll get money from people. And no, this isn't like the same thing you see when you see like the cute little homemaker being like, I make $400 a week from Google sitting in my home watching my kids. No, this is way cooler than that, because this actually works. In a 2007 study, 86%, and this is a big study, 86% of people said they start their shopping at a search engine. That's online, offline shopping. So don't you think that, like, if I can teach you how to get in the way of that shopping and how to make a ton of money from selling products that aren't even yours, that maybe that there's something to it? If there's 29 million searches going on a minute, and this is back in 2007, 86% of people were starting online to do their shopping. I think that there might be something to it. And this is the even cooler part for those of you that like are broke, like I've been a good portion of my life. You don't need any money, and this fact is further driven home by this. I think this was a Nielsen study. 88% of online dollars are spent on paid ads, even though 85% of consumers only look at organic search. Now, organic search, that's the natural search results that you see in Google. That's where people who don't pay have their sites, and that's where I'm going to show you how to take your site up there. And I'm going to show you how we're going to make your site make a lot of money in a minute here. But, I mean, that's what we're looking at with searches. It only makes sense. I mean, it's basically like in business, the ideal thing pre-internet was to have like a really good location. And I'm going to do the one last little way to get you to think about things a little different. This is the way that I think about them. In business, back before the internet, the ideal thing was to have the perfect location. And the other thing in business is you had to drive customers to your place. If you didn't have the perfect high traffic location with a lot of customers who needed your services passing by, you needed to advertise. And here's what's so cool about online is you've got the ultimate, you're not on a road or like 28th Street or like some highway. You're on the freaking information superhighway. So you have 131 billion searches a month going by your business, which is Google. And you don't need to pay to advertise. And this is what Google advertising is like in my mind. Remember, I'm sure if you've owned a business, you've dealt with the pain in the butt Yellow Pages people or the people who want to sell you newspaper ads. Basically, what Google is like, it's like if there was a newspaper that just went to people who were wanting to buy your product or service. It just went to them at the point that they wanted to buy your product or service, and there was only 10 ads in it, and you just had to write the best ad. That's what Google is like. Because the only people who are going to search for specific things in Google are people who have the specific problem that you have the solution to. That's the only thing that's going to bring them to Google, and that's the only way that you're going to show up. So doesn't it just make sense that if you can get yourself in front of them at that point when they're ready to make a purchase decision, which I'm going to show you how to do, doesn't it just make sense that you could get money that way? I mean, it's not rocket science. But anyway, I'm going to take you through this buyer's timeline here. We've got an idea, and what we have at the idea point is, we'll say that the man's problem that he needed a solution to was how to kill Bullwinkle. He's like, how do I kill Bullwinkle? If that confuses you, it might be someone like, in my business, I want to make money by real estate investing, but how do I do it with no money down? Boom, they'd enter that into Google. All right, and that's going to provide him a bunch of choices, okay? And with mine, it might be like real estate wholesaling, real estate lease options, but they're going to go, wholesaling's the best, whatever. You don't need any money, and it's the fastest paying, highest paying thing that there is. So, in Boris's case, it's going to be like all the different ways to kill Bullwinkle. And then he's going to move on to the next phase, and he's going to be choosing what kind of thing that it gets. And then after that, he's going to go over to specific brands. And I'm going to take you through this. I rushed through that one because I take it through you in the next slides. The first stage that we have of the consumer buying process is we have someone who has an idea. And when they have their idea, they go to where the information is about their idea. That's why it's called the information superhighway. And that's called the solutions research phase. This is where Boris goes, how do I kill Bullwinkle? And he goes to Google and he plugs it in, and it says like 12-gauge shotgun, Ginsu knife, bear traps, double drop kick, or higher OJ. And so Boris is like, that's a lot of choices. I wonder what one I should use. And then he's going to scramble around on Google a little while, and he's going to come up with the choice that best suits him. He hasn't really made up his mind about anything yet, but he knows he has a problem, and he knows he wants a solution, so he's evaluating what solutions are out there. That's why this is the solution research phase. The next phase is the product research phase. This is where, after he's found out in his solutions research phase which solution he thinks best fits him. So someone outside of being Bullwinkle here, if someone wanted real estate wholesaling information, first they would go to Google and be like, how do I make money with no money, no risk, no credit, whatever. And then it would say, like, they would come to the conclusion that wholesaling is the best way to do that. And then the next thing is they would start looking for different wholesaling products. And so in Boris's case here, we've got Mossberg shotguns, Remington shotguns, Winchester shotguns, McGillicuddy 300. That's my own TM patented version branded shotgun. So that's a phase where he's looking for specific products in Google. And if you think about the way that you buy, when you buy online, that's normally the way it is. I think right now Eric Metamar gets 400 or 500 searches a month on Google from people who want to buy my product. And they go there and they're like, let's see if this guy's a fraud. And I remember being a little surprised the first day I went to Google, and actually my mom called me and she's like, Eric, why is it when I enter your name into Google that it doesn't just show Eric Metamar, it shows Eric Metamar scam, the first recommendation? Because that's the way that people search. And they don't search that way in the first phase, they search that way in the next phase that I'm going to show you. So the next phase is the product-specific research phase. And this is one of the cool places. And this is when they've made up their mind that they have a problem. They've gone to Google. They've seen the solutions. They found the solution that they thought best fit them, like overall solution. And then they did research as to, of those specific products that offered solutions, which one looked best. And that's where you wind up at the product specific research. Now, someone who goes in for wholesaling, you'll find me, by the way, at #1 in Google out of the entire world for real estate wholesaling, because I'm a search engine maestro. But they'll find information about wholesaling there, and then they'll be like, let's see what this guy's about. And then they're going to go, all right, well, he looks kind of cool. And then they're going to start digging into whether or not I'm a good guy. They're going to go to the forum postings about me. They're going to look all over Google. Everybody, I mean, if I had a daughter, if I was back in the dating market, I'd be like Googling everybody she dated or that I dated, because that's what you do, is you Google people. Well, people Google when they buy products. But more specifically, they're going to Google things like reviews, discounts, prices. So in Boris's case here, he decided he wanted to kill Bullwinkle. He decided that the 12 gauge was the best way to do it. And then he decided that the best 12 gauge out of all of them was a Mossberg. And now he's going to find out the absolute best way that he can buy a Mossberg, and he's going to want to make sure that that Mossberg is a really good one. So then he's going to go to the product-specific research phase. And if you think about it logically, that's the way that we all make buying decisions, and that's why that study showed that 86% of people start their shopping process online, and a lot of them complete it there too. The next phase, and this is where we're going to get into my ridiculously rich formula, TM. I patented that one, so don't ever think that you can have a ridiculously rich formula either, because that's kind of my gig. So, this is how you get ridiculously rich online. You get in front of the right people at the right time with the right message, and you're going to have ridiculous money forever. Now, in the next pages, I'm going to show you exactly how that works. So, the right people, if we were selling something, would be Boris. Boris is the right people. He is a person online looking for a solution to his problem, and that's what people do. That's what they use online for. People go online to either check Facebook, check email, or find out information about something. So Boris is the person online looking for a solution to his problem. And the right, oh shoot, went backwards there. I'm driving and I'm in, the right time is in those two gaps right there. Because we don't want to catch people. It's not bad to catch them there, but you have to really be able to you have to have out your own products at that phase in order to make a lot of money when you capture people there. You don't have to. It's not like some rule, but I think that your opportunity is going to be a lot greater if you catch people in the last two phases. The phases where they're making up their mind about a product in general, and then the best place is to get them when they're making up their mind about a specific product. Now let me give you an example. And I'm sure that many of you guys have probably stumbled upon one of these. So let's say you're looking for a great way to garden flowers. And you find an author who wrote, you look at all the authors and you find an author who wrote the Ultimate Gardening Book. And that author's name is Ted Turner, the Ultimate Gardener. Now, if Ted had an affiliate program, and there's a lot of Teds out there, millions of them who have affiliate programs, and you were a person who decided, you stumbled across Ted Turner's Guide to Flower Gardening USA, and you decided you were going to buy that, at that point you're going to be in the specific product research phase. So you're going to be looking for information about Ted and his products. Because you want to make sure, if there's one thing that all humans have, and this is my wealth weapon system leverages this to its fullest, is we don't want to be suckers. None of us want to be suckers. So with the information superhighway there, rather than be a sucker, we research the hell out of people before we buy their stuff. Now let's say that you had a site up that said, free review, we've reviewed Ted Turner's Ultimate Flower Gardening, and here's what it had to say. Now, those people are going to visit your site, and you have a decent chance of getting them to buy a product from your site. You've just gotten in the way of a purchase. What you've done there is basically you're at Home Depot and you're handing out your cards to people who are going in line to buy stuff, and you're saying, just give me some money on the way by. And that's all you were, is you were just like this little intermediary. That's why I call this my hijack attack marketing. Because what you're doing is you're just hijacking people right before they're at the purchase decision. Because the consumer buying process goes from idea through those phases, and then it goes to purchase. And you don't want to catch them back at idea if you're an affiliate marketer. You can and make money with it, but it's more complicated than we want to get into right now. We want things that are going to make you cash, like quick, automatic cash, where you get like $5,000 a year from 20 sites, and you're making $100,000, and you don't have to work anymore, and you just hang out. That's what this is about. We're about hijacking people at those sites, and that's what my wealth weapon system is about, is getting to people at that right time. We've already shown that Boris is the right person because he's online, he's looking for a solution to his problem, and he has an idea that there's a solution out there, and now he's looking for it. And now we've got at the right time. And the other third part, if you'll remember, to my ridiculously rich formula TM was the right message. Let's move on to the next slide. That's where my wealth weapon system come in, because there isn't a like Google way to do right message, but there's an Eric way to do a right message, because I've tinkered and tweaked, and I've just proven it to you through all of the sales that I've had that I know how to write sales messages, and I know how to get money online. And that's what we're going to teach you inside my wealth weapon system. As I'm going to show you how to get your message in front of the right people for free, and how you can keep your site there forever while you're out doing fun stuff, like my wholesaling site. I showed you one day inside that account, $1,877. Now, I don't sell that much every day, but I sell a lot every day, and I don't have to do anything for it if I don't want. If I don't want to keep kicking out cool emails and making new courses and coming up with new clever ways to do things, if I, say for instance, stop wholesaling or something, then, like in my normal life, then maybe I would just leave it on autopilot. And it could do autopilot, because I've done autopilot for 3 weeks while I was away with my family, and I made, well, actually no, I was only away for, I was away for 2 weeks, and we did, I want to say, $7 grand that week or something. And this was just like me in Florida hanging out with my family. I mean, and I can't remember every day on my website, that's why I'm a little bit vague. I should like just give you guys the facts, but I made a hell of a lot of money, and I can certainly tell you I wasn't working. I was hanging out at like SeaWorld and hanging out at the pool at the Marriott and just relaxing. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do, is how to get your websites like mine at the #1 place in Google for real estate wholesaling. That thing gets me money every single day of the week, every single day. And I'm going to tell you about how to uncover the right people, and that's going to be one of the most important things. And I'm going to tell you how to get to those people, and where you can find them in droves. So when you come up with an idea, or you find a great product to promote, which I'm going to show you how to do, I'm going to show you how to find where those people are so that you can work on getting your message in front of them. Now that's the thing with the wealth weapon system and the ridiculously rich formula, is it's not about creating a product or being a guru or being an expert. You don't have to do what I did in my wholesaling business and be some sort of expert and make all this money and only then come to the marketplace and sell shit. You don't have to do that, because what we're going to do is we're going to hijack people who are already looking for experts. We're going to be like, we're basically, another way to think about it, other than the lazy boy at Home Depot, is like this dude's going to the store to buy a beer, and along the way, we're going to hand him our coupon and be like, hey, when you go buy your beer, give him this, and I'm going to make $5, and you're going to pay the same thing. Is that cool? Well, yeah, that's fine, whatever. That's what we're doing here, is we're hijacking people on their way to do things. The other thing is I'm going to show you, I mean, and this is more detailed stuff, and I hate to almost even bring it up, but I mean, there's little twists and tweaks that you can do to things that, I mean, have taken me years and thousands. Like the Frank Kern guy I was talking to you about earlier. $3,000 to have him tell me how I bought his shit, how he made me buy it. And it was really cool ninja type stuff. And it worked. Because I can tell you this. I've taken, and this is kind of weird that I'm sharing this to you because it was stuff I sold to you. But in my wholesaling business, I've offered sales because I just want people to buy my stuff because my stuff's going to help them. It's like I almost feel like I've got the cure to cancer. That's how good you need to feel about your products, by the way, when you make them. You need to feel like you've got the cure to cancer, and there's a cancer victim in front of you, and they don't, for some reason, they don't believe you that it don't work. So you tell them to take it, and that's our job as marketers. And that's how, when you do your own products, because I'm going to show you how to make your own products really fast and really good. When you do your own products, make sure that they are the cure for cancer, that there's something new that you want to get into the hands of people. Don't go to people with just some BS because you want to make a quick buck. You won't last in this business. I've seen people come into the wholesaling business and just sell shit, and they go out like shit. And I've seen a lot of people who, unfortunately, have lasted in the business selling the same thing. But you want to make sure you make really good stuff. But you can have the best stuff in the world, and no one's going to buy it if you don't know how to present the stuff in the right way. I mean, if you want the ultimate, like, aha moment of marketing matters more than product, think about this. Who sells more hamburgers than anybody in the entire world? McDonald's. Is their hamburger any good? Hell no, it's not. It's disgusting. But they are a marketing machine. When you think of hamburgers, you don't think of Joe's Krabby Shack. You think of McDonald's because McDonald's has their message pounded into your head. McDonald's knows how to market. The other thing is I'm going to show you my secret high-profit product formula, how I choose products, because there's an art to it. You can't just choose any product. You got to know what to look for, how it's going to convert. You need to know what to look for within the sales copy. You need to know a few little secrets in there. And before I go any further, because it bugs me to sound hypey, because I hate that when people do that shit to me. But I'm just telling you, like, this is what it does. And if it sounds hypey, it's because hypey things usually mean, like, they're really cool, but you don't believe it because they're that cool. Well, this is that cool, and it really does back it up. The next thing is, here's what you'll get. Now, this is where, if you're not going to be interested in making a ton of money online, and you're not going to want to, like, let me literally give you the keys to the castle of cash, this is where you should get the hell out of here, because I'm only talking to people, and I want you, if you get this tonight, I want you to be dedicated to this business. You can chase some shiny things along the way, but I'm telling you, don't chase any other internet marketing shiny things, because what I have here for you is everything that you need, period. What I've done, because I've listened to, I would say thousands, I would say well over 1,000 hours of internet marketing seminars. One of the things that I always hear the guys who are in the business drive home is that most of the people who come to their seminars and spend $10,000, they don't even have a website. And it's like, dude, my students are not going to be doing that shit. So I'm going to give you guys 3 years of hosting on my own personal server. That would cost you $240 if you wanted to go and pay for it. I'm going to give that to you for free, just so that you're not going to be another sad statistic who's like, oh, I just spent a bunch of money on some stuff and I don't have anything to show for it. I'm just going to like force feed you this. The whole first chunk of what I'm offering you is literally force fed, like, this is what you have to do and you have to do it and there's no way around it, and you're going to end up farther ahead than people who spent $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 on marketing seminars, because the people that they learned from didn't insist on this stuff that I'm insisting on for you. In the first lesson, what we're going to learn is I'm going to tell you exactly how to select the right products in the right niche that you want to do. The formula that I go through when I go do it, I'm going to tell you how to do that right off the bat, because that's going to be the most important part, because we're going to want to shape the rest of what goes on around the products or niche that we select. The second thing we're going to do is I'm going to have you, and this is the one thing that you're going to have to buy. Everything else is taken care of. It's going to be $9. I'm going to tell you where to get it. I'm going to tell you how to get it. I'm going to tell you how to send it to me. I'm going to tell you the numbers that you need to input and where. I've got a whole guide laid out for you. How to choose the best URL for both Google and your customers that they're going to love it so much that they may want to marry it. Now that's a lot, but don't let them, because we don't want that to happen. We want to. I'm going to teach you how to choose the perfect keywords. Keywords are, when you hear it, don't be all like freaked out. Keywords are basically the thing that you hear when you go into Google, and when you're thinking something like, oh, I want to learn real estate wholesaling. Well, real estate wholesaling is keywords. Well, there's specific keywords that customers use at specific times within the buying process. And I'm going to show you guys how to find those keywords, because we want to find people in the buying phase, the product specific phase, and the products phase. And that's where we want to hijack them. We don't want to hijack them back when they like have a random thought about whatever it is that you're going to be promoting. We want to get them, and keywords are where it's at for that. And I'm going to show you how to find those. The next thing we're going to do is I'm going to teach you how to publish your first website in under 15 minutes. And plus I'm going to teach you how to set that website up so it's like autopilot search engine thing. I mean, it's going to be rolling. How to set up a site so that Google will love you long time, in the immortal words of Two Live Crew. It's that good. And really, I take you through like the square one. And that's the other reason that I'm hosting your stuff, is because like if you've got a problem that's really off the wall or something's going weird, I know exactly what's going on with your business because it's on my servers, and you can tell me, hey, go check this out for me, and I can do it. Now, I'm not going to do that very often because I'm not buying myself a second job here, but what I have, I know is going to work. Every lesson that I teach you, I know is going to work because it's all based on stuff that I'm teaching you from specific stuff. So when I tell you to do specific things in a specific way at a specific site, please do it that way, because the only money that you're going to be required to spend or even need to spend within the next 4 years, if you want, or 3 years, is to buy a domain. And that's $9. And I'm going to show you where to get it, how to set it up. That's just lesson 4. Lesson 5, how to construct money messages so alluring your customers will beg you to take their money. And it's going to be so alluring that they may feel dirty afterwards, and they may want to smoke a cigarette because it'll be that good to give you their money. The next thing I'm going to do is how to write email so intriguing even Agatha Christie will be green with envy. Because there are some real secrets to that, believe it or not. There are some weird tactics. Like, I've sent out emails to you guys, and something that I think is really cool, and there's a lot of people here who aren't people who are used to me from wholesaling, but the people who are from my wholesaling list of people, I've sent emails to you guys, and something I think is really cool that I presented wrong will get 25% of the open rate of something else I send wrong when I use this formula and I get it right. And this is just like, this is kind of getting into the ninja stuff. The next thing is how to do your very own search engine slams. How I just spent $50 for that one site, got it pumped up on Google, got it near the top, and left it there to just send me money every month from here on out forever. The next thing, how to build your very own info product in under 2 days. Then get paid on it forever. I'm going to tell you how I did the one for $20. Because that's what I want you to be able to do, is just duplicate my success. I mean, if you think about, like, there's 2 ways you can get successful at business. You can do things where you bust your tail and you suffer, and at the end you've costed yourself a ton of money, and your opportunity cost was way more because all of this time has passed while you're trying to do things the old-fashioned way. That's one of the dumbest things I've seen, is people who try to just go learn from the forums, because you don't even know who's in the forums. Usually they got little forum flunkies who regurgitate what someone smart says, but then it ends up like that game where you pass the secret back and forth, and at the end it ends up all screwed up. But then you get that secret, and then you go implement it, and it doesn't go so smooth. So that's lesson 8. And then I've got 5 other, like, just kick-ass lessons of just, we're getting into, like, the heavy conversion stuff. These little tweaks that I don't even, like, it's not worth mentioning now because it would confuse you. And I'm going to tell you the way that I've got this course set up in a minute, because I'm trying to avoid. I feel very fortunate in that a lot of you guys who are here and listening to this now are at the stage where you don't know shit about internet marketing, where you're clueless and you know nothing. And that is the perfect phase for me to have you. And if you'll listen to me and follow me with somewhat blind faith, you'll make money at this. But if you don't, you're going to end up confused, and you're going to end up like all these other info marketers out there who started and had the brilliant dream and didn't do anything because they got so confused by chasing shiny things. And I'm going to keep you from shiny things. So there's some really cool stuff coming up. Believe me. Next. Now, the way that I have the system priced, $197 for all the lessons and everything in 1 month of what you're going to see here. And I'm going to tell you straight up, this is a $97 a month continuity. There's no hidden, like, I'm going to VIP program you for $97 value, and you'll never be able to track me down because I'm hiding out, and I'm going to make it impossible to find me. If you don't want in this, then don't even sign up today, because this is an in-your-face $97 a month. What your $97 a month is going to include, there's a reason that it's $97 a month, because it costs a lot of money to have all this stuff. We've got all your autoresponders. Now, these are the things that I use to promote all my products. You can send up to 10,000 emails at a time with this, and I'm going to show you exactly how to set them up, because I'm giving you all of the same tools that I used when I got started on the same setup service. Everything that I used when I went into this business, I'm giving to you. Affiliate marketing system. So then when you do your own products, people can go out there and just sell the hell out of them and make you money while you're sitting in Tahiti or wherever you are, because promise me now, if you're one of my students and you're going to follow through on this, you are going to make kick-ass products only. And if you don't, and you just use a bunch of the ninja tricks I teach you to sell cool products, and you do them on a crappy product, then you're fired before you even start. The next thing we got is we got a shopping cart system. So people, when they come buy your stuff, they can do it flawlessly. You don't have to take any orders. You just basically are going to experience the same cool thing I do when you do your own product, where you wake up and there's money, and they send it right to your bank account. There's no headaches, no fuss, no muss, no nothing about it. Now, initially, this is all going to be about affiliate marketing, where we're sitting at Home Depot in the line, passing the card, saying, here, you're going to buy some stuff. Just buy it through me. And by the way, I didn't tell you this, but I'm going to give you some other real cool stuff later that I can't even mention in here, because I do it in my affiliate programs, and it is the most ninja thing out there. This one little tip that you cannot get from anybody but me. And that sounds so hypey, I don't want to say it. But it is that cool, and I'm going to teach you how to use it, and you're going to get the tool to do it inside. But it's an affiliate trick that makes, like, everybody take your card, even people who don't want to buy your shit or buy from your site. They buy from your site anyway, and they don't even know it. I'm going to teach you how to do that. Anyway, your very own annoying pop-up. I'm going to give you a pop-up system, so that you can have annoying pop-ups just like me. And you're going to want them on some of your pages, like your name squeeze pages that I'm going to teach you how to make. You're going to want annoying pop-ups, because when people come there, believe it or not, everybody hates pop-ups. I hate pop-ups. People respond to pop-ups, and until it's like the news. Everybody's like, oh, I want only good news. Well, if they put good news on, no one will watch it. Well, if I didn't use pop-ups, people wouldn't be buying my stuff as often. So I'm going to give you your own annoying pop-up. And then this is the other thing that's so cool with this. You're going to get everything that you need. Like, you're going to have literally my entire business, so you don't have to go anywhere, shop anywhere, do anything. You don't have to look around, don't have to shop around. There's nothing more to buy after this except for your domain. I'm going to tell you where to get your domain. And if you can come up with something more that you need to buy, then call me and I will drive to your house and kiss your feet, because there's nothing else to buy. Other thing, every month I'm going to be, because I buy every course that comes out practically, because I'm just always looking for the next good idea. Don't get in the habit of that unless you got a lot of money. And basically my wholesaling career has financed my info learning career. So I could probably buy a second house with all the money I spent on internet marketing products. Well, every month I'm going to be buying products, and the cool stuff I'm just going to send over to you guys, the ideas that I get, and also I'm going to be going through my 1,500 pages of internet marketing notes. These are seminars that I went to. $10,000 seminars, $5,000 seminars, the $3,000 seminar where the guy tells me how I brought his products. I'm going to send you guys all of that in little monthly chunks, and plus a ton more other goodies. Let's see what else we got here. I don't even know where we're at. Okay. Now here, what would a webinar be without, like, the webinar only bonus? That's usually complete bullshit, because you can offer as many bonuses as you want, but this one here is truly not, because I've got to work for it. Like, I've got to handle some stuff, and that ain't easy, and I don't like doing that. So there's 20 of them available. The first 20 people who get it, you get it, and this is what you get. And the reason that this is such a cool gift is because like I showed you earlier, you want to get the right message in front of the right people at the right time. And the right place to be with your messages on the front page of Google, that's the only way that you can get to the people. And what can happen is you'll buy your domain, and I've seen it take up to 6 months for Google to index your site. 6 months. And I even see like struggling people who think that they're marketers get in, they're like, I can't get Google to find my site. Well, you can't make money until Google gets you to the front page, and you definitely can't get to the front page until Google indexes you. So what I'm going to do is just like give you like the mother of all bamboozle packages. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a 7,000 backlink exumer blast. Now you'll see these in other places. They're like 50 to 100 bucks. I'm going to give you, I saw one advertised on the forum the other day for some dude who's doing it dirt cheap for 35 bucks, and people were beating down his door. I'm going to give you that free to the first 20 people. I'm going to ping blast you to 2,700 sites. And what a ping is it's like, hey, we got good news over here. You got to stop by, take a look. It's going to get Google to index you faster. And then, on top of that, we're going to do 250 social bookmarks. Now, if you try to do social bookmarks were meant to be like places where you left your bookmarks that you usually keep in your browser so that other people know what cool sites are. Well, what we internet marketers use them for is places that Google loves to hang out there. So we blast out to those guys, and then you get your site index faster, and you work your way up through the search engine sooner. I'm going to blast you out to 250 of the best search engine sites that there is, or social bookmark sites. The last one, in Google, backlinks are key, and the king of all backlinks, like better than anything, is the edu backlink, because Google is huge into backlinks from respected sites, and edu backlinks are only for highly respected sites. Well, I'm going to get you 20 edu backlinks for your site. The thing is we're going to be doing this in blocks, because what we don't want to happen is called a Google sandbox, and this is more ninja stuff from America. And what can happen is if I did all of this at once, with just like a slam, Google would be like, this dude's a spammer, he's a scam, and then they'll take your domain and they'll never let it back into the search engine, and they'll screw you. So what we do is we're going to do the ping blast to 2,700. We're going to give it a few days, see if you get indexed. If you don't, then we're going to do the 7,000x rumor blast, and then we'll do the 250 social bookmarks sometime in between there, because that's safe to do. And then 20 edu backlinks are going to come after all that. But you're going to get all of it either way, but it's only to the first 20 people because it's like a ton of work on my part. Like I said, the price is $197. Don't even think of buying it if you're not ready to make a ton of money online and you're not ready to like, I mean, this is the one system where I can say, like, with wholesaling, I can look anybody in the eye and say, you can make money at this. Anybody can. And I meant it. And I do mean it. But with this, the difference is there isn't any barrier, like, period, that can get in your way other than you being lazy or you not learning. Like, the only difference between you and someone making $25 million online is learning. And that's pretty freaking cool. So that's why this is $197. It's going to include all of your setup off the back. Now returns. I know a lot of you guys are thinking like, oh, well, what if I want to return my stuff? I'm still debating this in my head, because I don't want you to buy it if you don't intend on using it. And the only returns I ever get on my wholesaling products ever are never people who don't like the stuff. They're like, well, wholesaling isn't for me, and then I get a return. Well, I don't want you buying this if you're going to return it. So what I will do is if you buy it and in 30 days you don't like it, I can give you $97 of yours back, because the other $97 I've spent on setting up all this stuff for you. Because if you're one of the first 20 and you decide to do a return, I've spent a ton of money on getting you these backlinks. I've spent a ton of money on setting up the sites. So overall, just don't buy it if you're going to return it. But if you do buy, I'll be cool and say, I'll give you half your money back within 30 days, but I can't give you the front half back because I've got expenses here. I mean, a lot of expenses and a lot of time that's going to go into it from my office. So that's the way that the return policy is. Just know that. And I'm just real excited. Oh, last thing. Hear this. The way this is going to work, because I don't know who's going to be buying my stuff, and I don't know, I want to make sure that from the get-go we are all on the exact same page when we're starting. So this program's going to shut down tonight. I might run it into tomorrow, but it's going to be done this weekend for sure. And then I'm going to look at the orders. I got to process them, I've got to run your orders through to set up all of the shopping carts, autoresponders, etc. And I want to have all of that stuff in place for you at the same time, but I can't do it until I get your orders. So what's going to happen is tonight when you order, you're going to be taken to a page right after you order that's going to show you how to go and research products to sell or how to research for your niche, because we're going to need that stuff in order to have you find the niche that you want to promote, and that's also going to shape the way you buy your domain. So I'm going to take you to a video for that. And then what I'm going to suggest that you do is go to Google and enter in your niche into Google, whatever it is that you decide that you'd like to start looking into, and just start looking at the marketing messages. In other words, you're not going to get all of your lessons tonight, because that's what I don't want to have happen. I could send them to you. It would be dumb, and because what's going to happen is you're going to get it, and you're either going to go crazy and get all like wild and then not do anything, or you're going to get it and get scared shitless and not do anything. So what I'm going to do is I want you to put your info blinders on. I want you to buy it tonight, go to ClickBank, sign up for a ClickBank account. It's going to tell you how to do it in there. It's free. It's going to tell you how to pick a product out at ClickBank. And then you're going to go, and I'm going to have my domain guide in there. You're going to go to Namecheap. You're going to pick out your domain. You're going to email me your domain. You're going to set up your domain, which I'm going to show you how to do right inside the guide. You're going to send me that. So on Monday I can have your website set up and ready. And then next week I'm going to start delivering your lessons. You're going to get a lesson every 2 days so that we don't like blow you out of the water. And if you're really, really hungry for lessons, I can send you a lesson every day. But I'm not going to do more than that, because I don't want the intimidation factor. I don't want like, wow, all this crazy stuff and then you're lost. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to order now. You're going to, right after you order, you're going to go to a website. It's going to tell you how to pick out a ClickBank product. This isn't set in stone. Just look around. Do the things that I tell you to do. Pick up a URL based off whatever niche you think it is. It's $9. It's not the end of the world. If you make a wrong decision, you can get more. And then from there, I need you to email me. I give you my email address inside the guide. You're going to email me that. I'm going to set up your websites for you on Monday on my server, because I need to tie your domain to my name servers. And then Monday, you're going to get your first lesson on how to build a website with the stuff that I've already given you, because you can't. There's no sense in me sending you that until you're ready to set up a website, and that's what I'm trying to avoid. So that's that, and just know that you don't need to buy anything after this. There's no upsells, no coaching, no nothing. I don't have coaching for my wholesaling. I don't have coaching for anybody. It's everything that you need to get started online and keep running for dirt friggin' cheap. This is Eric Metamar, and I'm out.